on this episode of Low Country Cowboys. Go along with us as we go down and help the guys at the cow camp fly treat a bunch of cattle. Then we have to come back and trim a bunch of yearling colts. It's hot and we don't want to do it, but it's got to be done. Make sure you stick around to see Nat and the kids go out and pick a bunch of wild blackberries. Then they go home and bake a pie. All that and more on this episode of Low Country Cowboys. Springtime in the country is the best time of year. I mean, you got the grass growing, you got the flowers blooming, you got baby birds chirping. Around here we've got fawns, foals, calves, you name it. Everything's new and everything's green and great. Then along about the second week in May, it started raining and the temperature started rising. And it rained and it rained. And over the course of 2 weeks, we got over 9 inches of rain. Then, quickly as it started, it just left. That's when the flies came.
Boy, it's hot. It's hotter than 2 rats fighting in a wool sock. I don't know if you can see the flies swarming on these cows' backs, but there's just millions of them. This is a great time of year for growing grass and growing calves, but it's a bad time of year for the heat and the flies. We're going to try to treat these cattle a little today and knock these flies down a little.
Now, horn flies can be a real problem with cattle. You know, they cause problems with reproduction, with their eating habits, with their sleeping habits, and they're generally just a nuisance. Now, we're really in a crisis with these horn flies in our cow herd. We can't get in there to treat them because the stuff that we treat them with is a spray that goes on their back. And if we spray them in the morning and it rains that evening, it just washes the stuff off. So we're really having to plan this out to make sure that we get the maximum effect so that we don't have to spray these cattle twice. So the first chance we got and the weather broke, it was all hands on deck. Every cowboy on this ranch was on his horse and in the pasture gathering cattle so we could get him some relief. Now this is a dirty job and nobody's happy about doing it. It's hot as hell, the flies are biting us, and it's just miserable. But hey, when you're a cowboy, the cattle come first.
Hey, don't be afraid to get some cattle. It's like a kick can hit or something. You know what I mean? There you go. There you go. Now we're talking.
Now we're working as fast as we can to get these cows some relief, but there's only so much that we can do. At the same time as we're treating the cows, we have to get the bulls out of the herd, and the bulls are really getting upset. There just isn't a lot you can do with a mad bull. by the time we got these bulls sorted off and into the alley, the temperature was up into the 90s and the flies were just super thick. The bulls were really starting to get agitated, and when it gets this tight, it really takes an experienced stockman to be able to handle those bulls and get them in the trailer. The last thing we want is a big wreck with a mad bull.
The wild blackberries were really great this year, so we decided to make a pie. We picked a bunch, but we didn't have that many when we left the field. I was hoping to have enough to make several pies. We had just enough to make one. Caroline would not stop eating them.
Are you still eating them? How many do you have in your cup? Caroline. So we got about a dozen yearlings. We need to get them up and trim their feet today. And you know, if I had my choice, I'd pick a cooler day for sure, but we don't get to pick. We just have to do it when they're ready. It's so stinking hot. All these colts want to do is go and lay down in the shade. I really can't say that I blame them.
We're not trying to trick her to get the halter on. We're trying to teach her that it's okay, that she can be soft to it. There. There. See, she kind of tipped her nose towards you that time? All right, now you remember what's going to happen if she won't stand still for us.
Here a couple of weeks ago, we brought all these yearlings up, and Hunter and I spent a couple of days working on them. We helped them to get to where they were comfortable with someone picking their feet up and just being handled. And boy, it really has paid off. We can see a huge change in them today. She remembered from the other day, didn't she? And I'm going to wait till she relaxes a little bit and then we'll let her put her foot back down. I think we've had enough. It's about time to call it a day.
Forgot to have sunglasses on.
You know, it's a huge relief to get all these cattle treated. It's a relief for us and it's a relief for the cattle. They're back to living their lives and they couldn't be any happier, I don't think. You know, That sort of a job, it is not fun, but as stockmen, it's what we're called to do. And we wouldn't have it any other way.
Daddy!
Hey, kiddo. What'd you do today?
Me and Mama baked a pie.
All right, let's go have some.
Thanks for making this, Mama.
Man, y'all make a good pie.